Okay, am I in? I see some changes. Okay, it looks like we're in. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Oh, good. You can hear me? What's up, everyone? Welcome to my second attempt, no, the second intentional attempt at StreamYard. Last time we did the giveaways for the promises I'd given you. 500 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 view hours. And it took me a while, but as of yesterday, everything has been sent out in the mail. So I want to tell you all that. Welcome, Aspiring Alchemist, FG Stacker, DGS MMA, Gilbert Rogers, Destroyer of the Wombs. I do not know how to respond to that. Pete Clark, Frosty, Mr. Briance, Ellie, Jay Yates, Crafty Stacker. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I do not know how to respond to that name of yours, Destroyer, so I'm just going to leave it as Destroyer. Metal Matt, welcome. So we're going to do something a little different. And before I get started, I want to bring you all up to speed. A big thank you to Yankee for getting me up to 1,012 subscribers. It slowly came down to 999. And Nick's Coins told me that she calls that the YouTube purge to get rid of things that they think was a bot. And slowly it's been hovering at the 1,000 mark. Today went up to 1,009 because my co-host today, my guest, my friend, who I did a collaborative on his channel with. And he is an amazing man. He is more of a numismatist. Actually, he is a numismatist. Maybe a little bit of a stacker, but more of a numismatist. I'm glad to hear from you too, Ellie. Hey, Ralph. Hey, Daryl. Welcome to the jungle. Hello, Fixing It Blind. So before I waste a lot of time, I want to just thank the person, my co-host, my best friend, my new best friend, a person who's taught me a lot about stacking, who is not the stacker so much. But welcome. Frostbyte Coins and Collectables. Hi, Ellie. Ellie, did you say Tully's here? I thought she was working for T the Silver Stacker today. I didn't really bother her because she works really hard for T while he's doing his auction, so I didn't even bother to tell her because I didn't want her to be stressed because she'll try to run both streams at the same time, and that's not fair to her.
It helps if I take my microphone off mute. I said I shake tatas.
Oh, I love shaky tatas. Those of you who like shaky tatas, put a 1 in the chat.
How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Thanks, Tiger, for having me up. I appreciate this.
I appreciate you. So let me explain something to all of you out there. For a long time, all my streaming was done on this, my cell phone, and it didn't allow for a whole lot of other stuff. And I didn't even know I could do that on the phone, but I did an accidental 8-minute live stream just messing around. And then later on, I started trying to do live streams on the phone. And I saw where other people were doing much better stuff than what I was doing. So I saw that Frosty was doing a wonderful job, and I asked him to help me, and he has. We have a little ways to go yet. Those of you who were at the big giveaway saw that the tiger wheel, we're not calling it the wheel of names, it's the tiger wheel, uh,
Right.
was was not working. And I think it wasn't working because Yankee sabotaged it. So now
Well,
I gotta find out where he sabotaged.
there's a little bit to say that he said he sabotaged it. Now it's not working. So, there's a little bit of something to say there.
So uh Ellie, for it to be a rigged tiger wheel, it's gotta work. If it don't work, it's not rigged. So anyway, um, those of you who were with me on the live stream with Yankee, thank you very much for all the fun and games that we had. We're going to have to work a little harder to have more fun at the next one. And I'll reach out to the Rig Nation. So I want you all to keep in touch with each other. Thank you, Brett. Nice to see you, my friend. You know, Brett, you're a good man. You even tolerated me the time when I timed you out for a bad word, so I'm going to fix that. I think. Let's see here.
You timing people out because they're saying kitty or something?
No, it wasn't a C word or a K word. Come on, work with me.
You need me to walk you through it?
Well, it's a little different on this one. Hold on. When I was okay, it's allowing me to do it. It's just slow. Okay, Brett, say something. I technically worked on my birthday, Ellie, and 2 days later the birthday video dropped. My wife told me to run to YouTube. I thought someone sabotaged it. I thought Yankees sabotaged it.
I don't
So,
see anything from Brett yet. Brett, enter
Brett,
something into chat.
so I got on there and there was my birthday video. My wife and brother-in-law put it in there. Brett, are you there? I know it didn't time you out.
Check there he is. And he's blue.
Brett, you're a smurf.
He's smurfed.
Okay, so, but no, we'll have to, the Rig Nation will have to talk about some other things, but let me be blunt about rigged. Okay, how many of you remember a very young Sean Connery? He was doing lots of 007. Hey, Christopher Smith, welcome to the jungle. And he got away from 007 saying he did not want to be typecast. I understand that. And I love doing the rigged videos for you all. I have a great time doing it. But I don't want to be known as the rigged guy. I want to have fun with rigged, but I still want to do serious videos. And when I'm doing serious videos, then I don't want to do rigged. When I'm doing rigged, I don't want anything serious. So I just want to let you know about that. Okay, so rigged 5 is in the early stages. I have dropped some serious videos. I got another one on the way. And I got another one, 2 more I want to do to get those up and running. But Rig 5 is in the early stages. I have no idea how long that will take. We had a wonderful session, Frosty and I. You're welcome, Brett. You're a good mod. I see how you are on everyone else. Okay, so basically, by the way, Brett, remind me, those of you who are mods, send me an email. Remind me to send you the rules to the live streams. Okay, I printed them out. I don't know where I put them. I'll find them but I know he got them in the computer, so I'll send them to you. But getting back to the time I had with Frosty, we did a session together, and Frosty uploaded a most wonderful video where we talked about the symbiotic relationship between a numismatist and a stacker. We do something similar, but yet so very different. Numismatists, in my mind, are more collectors and more historical and very, very, very detail oriented. Stackers are not so much into that unless you get someone who's a little bit of both. Oh, yes, thank you, Ellie. Yeah, I'm looking forward to informing you of everything too. I know you had questions. But numismatists are very detail oriented. Stackers usually are not, unless they dabble in both. So we did a video on peace dollars. And it was a
That was fun.
Oh yeah, it was. I had
That was a lot of fun.
3.5 hours of fun, education. Stayed on my wife's hair for a while. She was happy about that.
Ooh, that's tough, Jay Yates. But that's what the stack's for.
I understand, Jay Yates. I've been in your shoes not so long ago. I
How's it
had
going,
to
Brett?
sell some of my silver to pay my state taxes because I had new taxes that no one expected. I've got a video on that. I said the feds forced me to sell my silver. It's the only one of my videos that went viral. You might want to look at it. I thought it was going to be boring, but a lot of people liked it. Your stack is your bank. And if you need to cash in on your bank because you need a car or need to pay the taxes or whatever, you lost your job, that's what it's there for. And hi Joseph, welcome to the jungle.
What's up, Joe Lopez? What's up, brother?
So your stack is there as your bank. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but it's a keep yourself from failing and going into financial debt scheme. But there are some ways you can, if you're very, very lucky, to move ahead. And we did this type of video not long ago. It's on It's on Frosty's channel. And those of you who have not subscribed to Frostbyte, it's Frostbyte Coins and Collectables. Go over there. You'll learn a lot. He's the only person I know that's a numismatist that is not boring.
I try, but sometimes it just gets boring.
Yeah, but you're not that. Hello, class. Today we're going to talk about the American Revolution.
No, I try not to be that way because, if you can't have fun with it, what's the hobby about, right? You stack because you enjoy it. You stack because of wealth. You stack because of preservation. Well, I like learning coins, but I like learning and then teaching. So if I am overly boring, sometimes I'm going to be boring because I take it very seriously. But if I'm overly boring, you're going to be like, oh, this guy sucks. And you're not going to want to be a part of it. So I try to do a little bit of both, play, have fun, do whatever. But again, be very serious and teach. A lot of my channel is about teaching, right? Making people smarter, even stackers, right? Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you. Because there's a lot of things, and this is why we talked about the stacking of the peace dollars. I love peace dollars. They're probably my favorite, one of my top 3 favorite numismatic coins. But stacking them, they're really good, but they carry numismatic value. And sometimes you can find things in your numismatic, or find things in your stack that you may not necessarily know has numismatic value. So we're going to kind of talk about that. And then today as you can see, looking at his stack, we got 2 rolls of Morgans. We're going to look over the Morgans, and we're going to basically do the same thing, kind of teach you a little bit about what's important to look at the Morgans, talk about some specific key dates, talk about if him and I were doing a trade like we did with the peace dollar, where we would be, what we would end up at, see if we see anything really cool or fancy, and then just kind of give you guys basic information, kind of a basic insight of if a stacker and a collector work together, work together, what kind of cool stuff you can come up with. Um, if you haven't seen the peace dollar one, go look at it. The basic premise of that one was in 8.5 rolls of peace dollars, we found 7 coins. But of that 7 coins, we were able to turn Tiger's 7 into 13. Now, I gained because I got to fill some of my book, right? So I win because I get to put stuff in here that I don't have. But he wins because he almost doubled his stack on those particular items. So it can be a win-win situation if you can find somebody that's really good. So it's thanks, Brett, for subbing. I appreciate that. So what I want to do is just give a little bit of information. Tiger was like, "Hey, let's do this tonight." I was like, "I'm down. Let's do it." And we'll kind of just go through some stuff. I will tell you this: it's slow to kind of go through and see some of this stuff. But if we find something, that's where it gets exciting. That's where it gets fun. The one that we found that was really exciting, and the one that we did was a 1928 S, so San Francisco Mint peace dollar. It was basically a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 ratio. So he got 4 for the one, and I actually gave you like 1 piece and 2 Morgans to balance the budget. It ended up being $100 coin. So if you were to keep that in a roll, that roll is $500, but you're missing out on 90 of it because you didn't realize what you have. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. So Tiger and I figured we'd put this together and hopefully like it. What's up, Show Me Stacker? How you doing? Miss Coin Crew. What's up?
Here?
Miss Coin Crew's here. So is Jackalope.
Angel. Left a question with Keith. Don't want to talk about it here. We'll talk about it later. But I'm talking to my brother-in-law to make us a little short video where the squirrel and the tiger have a little bit of an issue. I think you'll like it if I can get it to get done. So on this, by the way, on the subscribing, I want to make sure that I print this out there, because if what I'm being told by Nick's Coins is correct, if you go subscribe, there is a potential that your subscription is going to be taken off by YouTube later, especially if you get a big amount of subscribers all at once. So I think what will possibly hold the subscription against what Nick likes to call the YouTube purge is subscribe, hit the like button, say a comment, and that will tell YouTube this isn't a bot. So I think they'll most likely not unsubscribe you. It's very frustrating. I went to 1,012 thanks to Yankee, then down to 999. And when you did your premiere train today, where he shouted my channel out because I sent him some of my channel rounds for working with me for literally hours. It wasn't a payoff. He did this free of charge out of the kindness of his own heart. And he reminded me a lot of my dad and my uncle, who they helped each other all through the years and never asked for anything. And since I can't offer techie help back, I wanted to give something from my heart, since he gave something from his heart. Not a purchase, not an exchange. It was a realization that I did not have a lot of help, and someone was willing to help me. And that means the world to me. Angel, I'm a bot.
Domo arigato, Mrs. Robato.
Did you see her? She says I'm a bot.
The other thing, Tiger, is so liking, subscribing, hitting that thumbs up is always good. But if you want to secure that you don't lose a subscribe that you're giving somebody, hit the notification. You can hit it to personalize or you can hit it to all. If you really want notifications, hit all. If you just want some notifications, click on the personalize. You can set it. Setting that notification bell is the one true absolute way that you will not lose that sub. So that is the best method to make sure that your subscription sticks.
I didn't know that. Usually, I'm like 99% of the time when I hit a subscription, I hit the bell notification, and I don't even want to be bothered with the personalization. I just hit it to all. That way I get everything.
Yeah, so just like Ellie said, notifications to all is important. Now, you don't have to leave it there, but leave it there for a day. You can go back and turn off your notifications, and you'll still maintain them. You'll keep them as a sub. It's not a big deal. You just want that sub to stick, and that's the important. So if you do all three, it's a guaranteed stick. If you only do two, which is thumbs up, and then obviously the subscription, right? But then a thumbs up, and then you hit that notification bell, it's pretty good that you're going to stick. But if you want all three, then you're guaranteed not to fall off of their page.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. I didn't think about the notification button.
And Miss Coin Crew, that is a real thing, right? Like your phone can explode with all the notifications of all your friends when they all go live a couple hours from each other. It's nuts.
Well, I just know mine doesn't blow up, but when I turn on the screen and say, you got 57 notifications, you got 105 notifications, and a lot of them have already come and gone. I've missed that opportunity, which is fine because I got to do my job. But I'll scroll them up and look at what went through, and if anyone's current, and it's like, oh, they'll have to forgive me because I got to do my job.
Yeah, because of all these people who stream at 9 p.m.
Yeah, 9 p.m. Got to do the job. I don't have all the time in the world to take care of things like brick and mortar coin shops. Oh, who said that?
I don't know.
Just teasing, Angel. Just teasing. Angel,
if y'all don't know Coin Crew, you got to go check them out. They're good people.
That's true. Angel, I'm just teasing you, girl. And you don't need sleep. You're pretty enough. So anyway, Coin Crew and Mrs. Coin Crew. Coin Crew, he's somewhat of a numismatist, but they do their own auctions twice a week. Mrs. Coin Crew, she'll show you what she gets. She does her own version. It's kind of fun because she's more into the pretty stuff like I am. West Texas. I done and Tiger at 6. I don't understand what that means. But no, honestly, go check on Coin Crew. They do a good job. Mrs. Coin Crew does a really good job. And the two of them is 2 parts of what is called the Premier Train, which they do on Saturdays. There's other ones, Mad Stacker. I don't remember the rest. Shout them out.
It is Will's Treasure, Silver Bull 30, Everyday Opportunity, myself, Mad Stacker, Pistol Packing Pilot, Gold Sniping Farmer, Ringmaster Ray, and the one and only Miss Coin Crew.
That's so true. So let's get right to it then. The Morgans.
All right, Morgan dollars, booyah. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through these. Miss Coin Crew probably knows these without having to look them up. She's very knowledgeable. Don't let her fool you. She may act a squirrel, but she's brilliant. So what we're going to look at is he's going to be looking at the Morgan dollar. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to look at the date and look at the mintages. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Morgan dollars, there are a couple different mint marks you can be looking for. The most cherished, the most prized is going to be the Carson City. On the back under the eagle, you're going to see the 2 C's, that CC. That's an indicator, obviously, that this is, yes, you do know stuff, ma'am. That is that CC, that is the most coveted. The next is going to be the New Orleans, which is represented by an O. Then you have S as in San Francisco, and then you have the no mint mark, which is Philadelphia. Philadelphia being the oldest current mint available. All right. So what kind of goodies we got there, Tiger? Your phone
Hold on a
going crazy?
second. Yeah. Okay. We got 40 Morgans. And for those of you who
It's a beauty, Chris.
getting older, you might want to invest in one of the following.
You're gonna pull out your loop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as a stacker, when you're looking at these, this is probably the number one tool. Now, obviously you guys stack, so you know about how to look for silver. You guys know about looking for, doing your slide and doing the ping test, and there's obviously a visual component that is kind of off. Always trust your eyes, right? But it's good to have some sort of loop or something to be looking at certain things. Now, a lot of stackers aren't interested in looking for errors. They're not interested in looking for varieties, but it's important if you have bad eyes to be able to look at the dates. There are some things you want to look for, and sometimes they help you find the mint mark, depending upon if you get older or older eyes like myself. I've got, oh, they're downstairs. I got a special pair of glasses with some little microscopic ones here. I will warn you about coin scopes. Okay. If you're looking for varieties and errors, coin scopes they're nice. They're really cool, but you can get some funky things with coin scopes. So always look through a loop first, right? Have a loop handy. I've got mine somewhere on this mess. I was doing videos, so all my coin stuff is put aside. It's right here. Just nice, easy 10x loop, 12x loop, whatever you want. If your eyes are really bad, you want to go up a little bit, you can do that. So what we're going to do is you can look at the first one. Basically, we're going to be looking at dates. So I'm going to have Tiger reach in, pull out some of the Morgans in his stack. And then we're going to just basically look at the dates. We'll talk about the mintages, talk about the mint marks. Yep, they do. They cause hallucinations. And take it from somebody who looks at a bunch of Overtons, you start to hallucinate after a while. One of the tricks with using a coin scope is to rotate the coin and rotate the coin a lot. Because if it's there one direction and it's not there another, it's a figment of the lens that happens. Again, real quick, if you haven't already done so, please smash that like. Appreciate it. What's up, Victoria? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you.
Hey, Victoria. Welcome to the jungle.
Let's look at this. What's up, Jay? Let's look at this first one and let's look at the year.
This is a 1879, and from what I remember from the Carson City, the mint mark is underneath the neck and the hair. Am I right?
No, the mint mark is on the back. It's on the bottom of the coin. It's on the back. So under the heraldic eagle, you're going to have the mint mark, and it'll be SOCC or nothing.
So far, I see nothing.
Okay, so in 1879 is the second year of the Morgan. There's about 14.8 million of them. They're fairly common. That's a really good grade, a really nice looking coin. But it's not necessarily one of the low mintage. It's actually a very high mintage coin when you're talking about the early Morgan dollars.
Okay.
So cool coin, but not a key date, nothing really out of the ordinary. But again, when you're looking at quality, some of these coins in higher grades always fetch a little bit more money.
This one is an 1885.
Okay.
And it looks like it's a O.
Okay, so 1885 O is about a 9 million mintage. That's still kind of high. It's still in the lower one, but you're talking about New Orleans. Now, New Orleans, a lot of people, I personally collect New Orleans mint because I like them. But it's depending upon the quality. Again, when you're looking at Morgans, it's all about quality. You can run, but that's probably middle of the road when you're talking about mintage size.
1904.
It's a really good looking Morgan.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a really good
yeah,
looking
it's got a
Morgan.
little bit of yellow to green toning.
Okay, so the 1904, I want you to set that aside.
Oh,
Okay, the reason
all
that I
right.
want you to set that one aside is the 1904 only has a mintage of 3.7 million. Okay, so set that one aside. We'll kind of look at some things later on, and we'll talk about that. Miss Going
Okay.
Crew, if you happen to know any of the approximate values for, let's just use the range of AU. Then we can kind of just talk about some general prices if you're up for it. If you're not, then I'll pull them up afterwards.
This is a 1921 Philadelphia.
1921 is an extremely high mintage. Very, very, very common. It's like 44 or 45 million. It's the highest run. It is the last year, but in order for that really to be worth anything, it's got to be in immaculate condition.
Okay. I have another 1921
Yeah,
Philly.
you can skip the 21s because those, I mean, they've got to be like MS66, MS67 type
Okay.
for them to really carry a premium.
Another 21. Another 21.
21s are going to be a lot of
21.
Yeah, 21s are going to be a lot of them. Now, when you're looking at 21, make sure you're looking at the mint mark because the D and the S are about half the mintages of the Philadelphia. So when you're looking at Denver and you're looking at San Francisco, they're 20 and 21 million respectively. So you do want to look at those because again, in that one you have PD and S, so Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco.
Okay. Now, so far in the 21s that I've shown you, I don't see any of that.
They're probably going to be almost all Philadelphia simply because there's 44 million of them out there. It's like, I think it's closer to 45 million
Yeah,
in that particular year.
They're all Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay. So you're good.
Sorry.
Just, and again, the
Sorry.
Gesundheit.
Another 21.
And that's going to happen with Morgans. You're going to have a huge chunk of 21s. So unlike the peace dollars, the Morgans go through much faster because you're going to see a lot more of these really common dates.
1897, Philadelphia.
1890 Philadelphia, you can set that one aside too.
So I'm sorry,
again,
1887 Philadelphia.
1887. Okay, that's a little bit different. 1887 is 20 million. So if it had been the 1897, it's only a 2.3 million. That's a much better mintage. But the 87 or the 87 Philadelphia is it's almost a 21 million mintage.
This one is
that's correct, Jackalope.
1896 Philly.
1896 Philly.
Uh-huh.
That is a mintage of about 10 million. It's 9.7, 9.9, somewhere in that area.
Okay. Unless you tell me I'm putting them back in the regular stack.
Yep.
More of a 21. Well, no, it helps not to be clumsy.
Okay, that's a drop discount.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? It's the squirrel. She's making me nervous. Okay.
I haven't even seen her for a while. She may have logged off. She said it was past her bedtime.
21. Oh, for crying out loud.
It's those claws are getting in your way. You need to go to the groomer and get them trimmed.
Yeah. You know what the other problem is? I get those darn antelope meat stuck in my teeth.
Who's a breath breather?
More of a 21.
Is that him or me?
What?
Joseph Lopez is like breath breather.
That might be me because my nose is all stuffed up.
Oh, maybe.
1900,
So
Philadelphia.
the nicest coin I have next to my 1883 Carson City is the
Uh-huh.
1900. Is it what was it? Is it Philadelphia?
Yes.
It's about an 8.2 or an 8.4 million mintage.
Is that
Yeah.
good or bad?
It's average. If you're at oh,
Bear with me here. I'm going to go blow my nose and get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And the last one from this tube was 1879, Philadelphia.
1879 Philadelphia.
Yes.
That is 1879. Yeah, 14 million. That's a large mintage. You have oh, okay. The 1879s that you're looking for obviously is the Carson City, but the omit mark in that is only 2.8 million. So that's the one you want in the 1879. But 1879 again is the second year Morgan dollar. So
Okay. So this one here is an 1881, Philadelphia.
excuse me. Okay, that's middle of the road. That's about a 9 million mintage.
Okay. This one here is an 1888. I don't know how much.
You kind of bugged out on that. I didn't hear that very well.
Sorry. 1888.
1888 is
Philly.
about, I think it's 18 or 19 million. So it's actually on the high end. Now, that one, the one you're looking for 1888 is you're looking for obviously the Carson City. Our Carson City didn't have one in 88, but you're looking for the 88 San Francisco. Now, the 88 San Francisco only had a mintage of 657,000. So if you find an 1888S and that's in your stack, you definitely want to pull that out because that is a very, very low mintage. It's lower mintage than a lot of the Carson cities. And that's one that you want to pull out and make sure that you have. So
Understood.
that's going to be one of those ones that you want to pay attention to. So stackers, if you have Morgan dollars and you do that, 1888S is one of those key ones that's not a Carson City.
And the one thing that we did with our collaborative video was we combined the interest of a stacker to the interest of a numismatist.
Right. So just as a kind of reference on that particular coin, let's say, and I don't have the values off the top of my head. So let me pull that up real fast. So,
okay.
So an 1888S. So we'll look at, give me a grade. Give me a fairly decent grade that you would like to see this in. So let's say, do you want to just say, you want to leave everything at AU?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
My daughter's upset. I was supposed to pick her up, and my ex forgot to have me go over there. And so she's a little torqued at me right now. Okay, so if we're going to go in AU, so we're going to say AU 58. That
Hey, mentally corrupted.
1888S is, say
Sorry,
again.
I just says hello to mentally corrupted. He said hello. I don't want to be rude.
Oh, I thought you said you're mentally corrupted, and I was like, excuse me.
Oh, you
I
wouldn't
knew I
believe.
had challenges.
I was calling him mentally corrupted, and he sent me a little note saying, "That's not how you say it." I'm like, "Oh," and I looked and I'm like, "It's metal, not mental." And I'm like,
Mentally, yeah, you called me mentally corrupted. I was like, what the
and so,
hell?
and it's like, oh God, I got that name wrong. So maybe I'm mentally corrupted.
It's all good, no worries. So that 1888S and AU 58 is going to be about a $400 coin.
Yeah, and at one point when we did the peace dollars, he made mention that if I had something that was extremely rare in the peace dollars, I could pay off a large part of my house.
Okay, so what that is so very, very, very rare. The likelihood of you getting one is none. Um, and I don't say that sarcastically, but that is the 1922 high relief. Now, the 1922 high relief in, let's say, AU 58, MS 60, 61, you're looking at about an 18 to a $24,000 coin. So now, to kind of give you an idea, in retrospect, if you take this 1888 and you take what's called top pop, and you get up there around the MS, oh, let's say 66, 67 range. Okay, you're looking at a value at MS 66. Well, MS 66 plus, you're looking at a $30,000 coin. But in MS 67, you're looking at almost a $40,000 coin. So with some of these now, are you going to have an MS 67 in your stack? Probably not, but you may have one that comes back at 63, 64, 65. Now, if you were to find the 1888S in a 65, you're looking at $25, $26, $2,700. Right? So when you talk about your stack of Morgans being a $650 stack, you sell that one coin. Now, how many tubes can you get? Right? You're talking about
Oh
3 or
yeah,
4 extra tubes. So it's important to understand what is in that tube, right? So it's important to look
exactly.
through these, look at those key dates, and kind of understand the value.
Because the way I
Thoughts
said
on
it,
constitutional silver? Yeah, if you'll give me just a minute so we can
no
finish this,
problem.
we'll go back to that Jay Yates. Um, junk silver, so everybody calls it junk silver. But yeah, there's I like it, but there's some issues with it that I actually am making a video that's going to be released next week, actually, on that and stacking eagles. So you'll want to go look at that too.
Yeah, on the subject of constitutional versus junk, it's a little side note that's a little irritant to me. People get mad about calling it junk silver and having it called only constitutional, and yet on the other side of the coin, you have people destroying our country by not paying attention to the Constitution and turning our Constitution into junk. Just an ironic note, just on the side note. The other point I
So
want, what's that?
technically, it's not called constitutional silver.
I understand.
So
I'm just making a point that there's people out there destroying our country by not following the
yeah,
Constitution
yeah, I got you.
and turning
I
our
got you.
Constitution into junk. Um,
Fully tracking.
but
Miss
the other,
Quaker calls it fondled silver.
th-
Heavily fondled silver.
oh, you're speaking about fondle. There's nothing funnier than when she fondles Keith and gives him a tickle. Now that's a scream.
Thanks, El. I appreciate that.
So, the point I wanted to also point out is I'm much more of a stacker, but I am learning from Frosty how to pay attention to things. And for the most part, I'm probably going to stick with just stacking for weight Not only because it's hard to pay attention to the details when you work as much as I do, but more importantly, when I die, my wife, I can guarantee you, has not one bit paid attention to hardly anything except she pays attention to me because I'm doing YouTube. That makes her happy. So she'll learn a little bit about gold and silver because of YouTube. But if I die, she can be taken advantage of so easily, and
Yeah.
because of which I'd rather her have weight than numismatic. So it works
Yeah,
for
and
me.
that's something that you and I have talked about a lot. You have the video on your death letter. You have the thing on, you know, informing people of what they have. But one of the best things you can do, I have 4 basic rules that I live by when it comes to stacking. Number 1, teach the kids. Teach the kids what it is, right? If I lay an American Silver Eagle on the table and I ask a kid, how much is this? What are they going to tell you? They're going to
A
tell you it's a
dollar.
buck. And if it's a buck, where are they going to take it when it's time to change in your stuff? They're going to take it to the bank. And if they take it to the bank and you have a tube of Silver Eagles, how much money have you lost?
A
Now the
ton.
bank's going to take it. They're going to take it and buy it, and they're going to run with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. I don't care if you misspell my name. It's just don't call me late for dinner. Um, but so you want to be careful. Same thing goes with constitutional, right? Explain people the value of the silver quarter. Explain to them the difference of it, right? Show them a 64 and a 65, and say, these are silver. Show them the edge. Teach them the edge, and say this is what you look for, and then ask them how much is this, and then say no, actually it's $5, right? Or it's $4 or whatever the price of silver is, and teach them the value, because if you don't, your stack could be quickly mitigated by somebody who's thinking about something. And again, like I said, I got a video coming out on this very topic. I think it's on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's Tuesday. One of those 2 days. I'll have to double check and we'll see when it is. But look at my schedule, you'll see it there. And I talk about this very thing. The video's probably out 10 minutes or what at max. But go check it out, because we talk about that very thing. Talk about the dangers of stacking ASCs. Talk about the danger of stacking constitutional or junk silver, aka junk silver, because a lot of people don't know. And the most important thing you can do is education, right?
Exactly. And
In
it doesn't,
times of chaos, they're not going to remember some of this stuff.
and there's something that's said in the pilot community, because I'm also a pilot, although I haven't done it in years. Um, when the higher the stress, the lower the IQ.
It's true. That's absolute truth. Now, Christopher Smith, I want to correct something on that. So this is a common thing. A red book is only good for reference. A red book is not good for value, right? So, because for instance, here I've got my red book, right? This is great. Well, let's say that silver jumps to $35. Are the prices for the silver in there going to be valid? No. Are the prices for the numismatic value going to be valid? No. The only thing a red book is good for is validating the mintages, as it was said by William E. And looking at specific information. So looking at something like, when was the start and stop date of this particular run? Because if you're out looking for something, let's say that you go to a flea market. Don't go to a flea shop. You'll end up leaving there with more stuff than you want. But let's say you go to a flea market and you want to look and you see something that's a 1868 Morgan dollar. Morgan dollar. They didn't start until 1878. How can you have an 1868? That should raise a flag. It should be something fishy, right? So that's what this kind of stuff is good for. Okay. Don't try to use it for value. You want to understand value? Connect your significant other with somebody like Miss Coin Crew, with Mr. Coin Crew, with some of these other people who have coin shops, or have like Tiger talks about going to his pawn shop and having a good relationship with them and understanding values and stuff. Establish those relationships and have your significant other understand the relationship that you have with them, so that when emergency time comes, they're not thinking straight. Their loved one just died. They got bills and finances and all this other crap. They got funerals and they got to figure out your death certificate. They got all this freaking chaos that's just hammering down on them. Give them a good person to go to, right?
And
Give them a
that's true.
trusted source,
And
or
it does,
two or three.
and it doesn't only happen with banks where they're going to take advantage of you. I
Yeah.
went to the pawn shop one day, and she sold me, because I was collecting constitutional quarters at that time. She sold me a bunch, and there was a story with it. She had just gotten those quarters a little while before. She's by law has to hold on to things for 10 days to make sure that they're not stolen. But when they came out, she sold them to me. What happened was someone inherited someone's stuff after they died. They found all these bunches and bunches of quarters and went to a store and paid for them with the quarters. Bunches and bunches of quarters. And every last one of them was 90%. And the person knew when they were buying it from the one who was there, they sold
Yep.
them their product.
Yep.
And as soon as the person left, mad dash right to the pawn shop, cashed them in for
Yep.
cash.
And that is one of the dangers of stacking constitutional. Again, one of the best things you can do, and it's been said by a number of people in the chat, right? Knowledge is power. Power is key. If you want to save what you have, the investment, the strategy, the legacy, whatever you want to call it, for your kids, your significant other, whatnot, knowledge is power. And establishing them relationships when you pass, for them to go to and treat you properly, that's what's most important. If you have that, excuse me, if you have that, I'm good with you stacking constitutional. I'm good with you stacking junk silver. I'm good with you stacking ASCs. I'm good with you stacking AGEs. I'm good with that. No problem. Have at it. But if you're not teaching the people that you're with about stacking or the value of it, I mean, look at it. You want to talk about massive loss. Let's say you see these people stacking. Who's a person? Monster box. Are you stacking a monster box?
I
Tiger?
am.
Okay. Let's say that Tiger's stacking a monster box of American Silver Eagles. Okay. And there are how many Silver Eagles in a box?
Let me see here. 25 tubes, 20 in the box. That's 500 coins.
Okay. So you take that to a bank. How much is it worth?
They're going to give you $500.
They're going to give you $500. And the value is closer to 23,000, depending upon the price of silver.
And
think about if
another
you
way that
stack.
you can help. I label everything.
That's
This
great.
tells you.
Yeah.
I bought this from Coin Crew on February 19th, 23, for $32. Then I bought this one from Bullion Max on November 1, 22 for $29.84. It's a good way to tell your loved one that live beyond you clues on how to not get taken advantage of.
Now, that's good if you stack all of the same general kinds. If you are one of these stackers that likes to do stack collecting, okay, I don't know if it's a thing, but I like to call it stack collecting, right? Stack collecting.
And fun things like this.
Yeah. So if you collect some of the high premium items, some of the high desirable stuff, or I'm doing a call out video for this, and I haven't told anybody what it is yet, but I got this from Steve Looker for Silver. But if you're going to spend a couple $100 on a ounce of silver that's a collectible item, I know stackers cringe when I say that. You have to leave something indicating the value. But just because you spend $100 for it doesn't mean it's going to be worth $100 when you sell it. So you need the best thing that you can do is set somebody up with a person who understands the hobby and get them to work with them and understand because and multiples, right? Have a coin shop in your back pocket. Have uh, a you can do a pawn shop if you want to. If you want to have a numismatic or a stacker friend or whatnot, people that are trustworthy, that have integrity, that will be willing to do that. Oh man, Ellie, that's yeah, that's absolutely. Keep the documents. I get documents. I don't. Oh, I have one somewhere here. I'm a mess right now. I've just been packing and sending out
Yeah, I have
documents.
tons of envelopes with receipts, either
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
pawn shop or if I bought something online, I print it. If I buy something,
yeah.
say from Coin Crew, I'll send them an email and I'll print the email I sent them plus the PayPal I sent them, staple it together. That way there's proof on proof. And there's a YouTuber. He's a good YouTuber, very good. I'm not going to mention names, but he's a little late getting me my stuff because I think he's overwhelmed. He's not a cheat. He's just, I think, in my opinion, very overwhelmed. It would help that I had all my papers because I can't find stuff on the computer. So I took pictures with my phone and sent him pictures of the PayPal. So that does help a lot. But one of the things I saw Ellie mention earlier on, but you were teaching about something else, was is there a difference between the red book and the blue book? And you can see I've not opened them, so I don't know yet.
So I had a really smart aleck comment about that, but I was going to be quiet and not say it, so I keep myself out of trouble.
You want to say it, so as long as there's no curse words in it, I'm okay.
Oh, I know the difference between red and blue balls, but I don't know the difference between the red and blue book. No, just kidding. So one is for
The
the
red one,
dealer, and
the red one is before marriage, and the blue ones are after marriage.
yes, exactly. No, so one is for retail, and the other one's for the general public. So your red book is going to be for the general public, and if you look at this, you'll see just your general information. The other one's going to have different prices. It's going to have um, some information specifically for your retailers, your coin shops, your dealers, wholesalers, things like that. So that's the difference between the two books.
Say that one more time so it sticks in my feline head.
Okay, red, general public.
Okay.
Blue, uh, private wholesalers, coin shops,
Okay.
things of that nature.
Nickel, welcome to the jungle. It's good to see you.
I'm trying to find my scissors. I had scissors and I don't know what I did with them because I wanted to open up something real quick. There they are. So let's go ahead and get back to this. So what are we looking at right now?
1902, Philadelphia.
Okay. So 1902, we're looking at a mintage of about 7.9 or 8 million. Again, middle of the road. Now, some of these, again, when the big important thing about this is you're looking at the quality of the coin. If it doesn't have any bag marks and it's got really open fields, the fields are the flat parts on the coin. If it doesn't have any, look at the high points, right? Look at the cheek, look at the nose, look at the ear, look at that area on the edge of the bust. You're looking for items like that. If you find those particular items where they have no bag marks, there's no marks on it. Those are really high quality, and you want to set those aside and find somebody who knows how to grade coins. I'm not very good at grading coins yet. It's an art. You have to do a lot of it to get good at it. But some of those, even though they're kind of mid-range mintages, can still be worth a fair amount of money.
This one here is an 1898, and I just put it underneath the microscope, so I knew that it was not 3/8. It's a 898, so 1898.
Okay.
And it looks like it's in New Orleans. Let me magnify that. It's in New Orleans.
Okay. Unfortunately, the 1898 New Orleans is the higher of the three, but it's still a low mintage. So the 1898 O is a mintage of 4.4. So let me go over here and pull up the 1898 O. And if Tiger and I were doing a trade on this, let's say that I had, we'll just use 1921s because they're good generic price points. They're between 40 and 50 bucks, somewhere in that area, depending upon what you're doing. But an 1889 O. So let's look at the condition of the coin. What do you think its value is?
Oh, I'd say maybe what, $70?
And it is 1889 O, right?
1889 O.
Okay.
18980.
Okay. And so looking at the marks, looking at the field, are the bunch of dings and stack marks or dent marks and things like that?
I see a bunch of scratches on the cheek, a little
Okay.
bit here in the field, some toning around the periphery over here, a little less on this side.
Show me the coin pretty close up. So it's actually a really good looking coin. I would say that's probably, let's say, XF 53 to AU 58, somewhere in that range. Okay, good. How are the feathers on the eagle? Are they pretty flat?
No, I can see this row of feathers line, this line
No. On the chest.
on the
Chest is what you're
chest.
looking at. That's the high point of the reverse.
It's not as prominent, but it's not completely flat.
Okay, so let's call this a 53. Okay.
Okay.
It might be a little bit higher, might be a little lower, but just for the sake of doing it, let's call this a 53. That's a $150 coin.
Holy smokes.
Right.
Ah.
And so this is where you're looking. So if I was to trade, this would be a 3-for-1 trade. Right. So I'd give him a 3-to-1 on these particular items. And in fact, I probably will if he's wanting to do it.
I'm more about the weight for the same reason. My wife is 14 years younger than me. She doesn't pay attention. If it's not dogs or jewelry, it's toast.
Yeah.
So.
Check out the breasticles, and that's going to tell you on the reverse because the breast feathers are the high part. So set that with the other one. Okay. We'll talk about the value of the ones that we set aside. So, and again, we're going to be talking about, we're only going through 2 on this, right?
2 what?
1889 O.
Yeah. We only got 2 set to the side.
It was the New Orleans.
Yes, it was an O. They're both O's.
1889 O.
1898 O. And
1889
1898 O. 1898 O.
1898 or 1889?
1898.
Both of them?
No, the first one was 1904.
Oh, I thought you said 1889. Hold on. I'm glad somebody corrected that because I heard 1889.
Nope, 1898.
Dagnabbit.
I'll put it back underneath the microscope just to verify, but I did it once before and it was clear to me underneath the scope.
You know, my internet has just bogged down.
Yep.
Hey, Tuli.
Hey, Tuli. Welcome to the
on, Tuli?
jungle. I didn't want to bother you. I know you work really hard for tea. So, welcome. Wanted to say, but I was really enjoying what I did with Frosty on the Peace Dollars, so we thought we'd do one on the Morgans.
Okay, so let's get back to that. So we said that's a 53, right? Yeah, it's the same price. Yeah,
Okay.
it's still a $150 coin.
Okay, I'll put that to the side.
Hold on. No, it keeps going back to it's 1898, not 1889. Ding ding. Ah, it's frustrating. This thing keeps bouncing back to the same year. 1898. Oh, okay. Now we got to the right one. Yeah, it's still a $150 coin.
How about that?
No, you know what? It's driving me crazy. Look at that. Is that it again? So there's something wrong with PCGS. PCGS is showing the 1898 as 1889. So I'm not sure what's going on with this site. So I need to get out of PCGS and get back in. I think there's something wrong with my end. You said it's a $60 coin at 53.
I kind of guess it would be like maybe 70. I don't know.
Well, Christopher Smith said, and I don't know why it's doing this. I've entered this number 1898.
You seem to have the same computer right now that I have with computers every day.
I don't know what's going on. So when I click, this is the second time or third time I've clicked on that. It goes back to the 1889 for some reason. There we go. Okay. So yeah, 63, it's a $125 coin.
Okay.
Assuming that we're in 63. Now, granted, these are for slabbed varieties, so you're going to lose, you know, probably $20 in the transfer, but still, it's over $100 coin.
Okay. So does it go back to my stack, or do you want to set it
put
to
it in
the
the other
side?
one. Anything.
the side.
I told you I collect New Orleans mint. So
Oh, that's right. That's right. And this one is 1901, New Orleans.
yeah, 1901 New Orleans is going to be a high mintage. It's like 12 to 14 million, somewhere in there. I think it's 12.3 or 13.3 or something like that.
So high vintage means low value.
Not necessarily. Again, it's all about the grade, but the higher the mintage, the more common they are. So the less they usually fetch.
Okay. Which brings me back to the same question. In my stack or over here?
Your stack, because I
My
already
stack.
have a 91. Yeah, I already have a 91.
Okay. Got it.
And we'll do the same thing that we did with the peace dollars one day. We'll go through those. I'll look at all my O's and we'll determine which ones. But
Okay.
this was just kind of a general overview.
Yeah, this is more for the stacking community to see the greatness of the symbiotic relationship between the numismatist and the stacker.
Yeah, I'm having issues with PCGS right now. EMR, it's the same thing. It's like it's bouncing back and forth. So you guys might be seeing something else somewhere else, but it keeps bouncing back and forth. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with the PCGS site right now.
Okay. This is a 1921 Philly, which you said that's very common.
44 million.
This is hold on, let me.
This is why the loop is important.
1883, New Orleans.
Yeah, see, that's my 1883 is a Carson City. I love that baby.
This one's not bad.
Unfortunately,
It's got some great toning everywhere.
yeah. So the 1883 New Orleans is going to be an 8.7 million mintage. So it's less than the Philadelphia by 3 or 4 million, but it's still higher than. Um, but there's only the Carson City, the New Orleans, and the San Francisco and Philadelphia. There's not a yeah. There's all four in that particular year.
Okay. And this one here is an 1887 Philadelphia.
That's like 20 million. Yeah, so my 1883 CC is a 63 as well. It's about a $350-$400 coin. But I'm thinking about cracking my out and sending it back in because I know it should be able to get 64.
Okay.
What's up,
This
my
one's
silver
an
journey? How are you? Hey, Amy
hey,
Harrell.
MSJ. Amy, welcome to the jungle, my friend. Can you believe I caught in the jungle?
He caught a cold.
Yeah, caught. Oh my goodness. I had to do an assessment of someone's home yesterday. My company that hired me only gave me 4 people. That's ridiculous. I might as well just stay at home and help out at the house.
Yeah,
But
that's
one of
tough.
them turned me down, said that she was sick. Oh, I asked her questions. It was her allergies kicking up. Like,
Hold on.
you're
That's
not.
kind of ironic. I'm going to turn down the doctor because I'm sick.
Oh, that happens all the time. When I had
Oh,
my
that's
when I had my
hilarious.
practice years ago, they wouldn't come to the office. Why didn't you keep your appointment? I was sick. Hello.
Oh, that's hilarious. People are
Yeah.
goofy.
Oh yeah. Hello, McFly.
Yeah,
You
people
know,
are goofy.
uh, this one's at 1879. Oh, I could write a whole book and or stand-up routine on the crazy that people do.
I bet. I bet. Please tell me that's an 1879. Oh,
It's an 1879 Philadelphia.
15 million. Now,
You
see,
know,
the O on that one is 2.8, and that's a really good one. The CC on that one is still the best. It's at 756,000.
I am not ignoring you, Tolly. It's hard to pay attention to coins.
What
And
is Tooley saying? Focus on your
Tiger,
camera, please.
Tiger is ignoring me.
Oh, your camera's going in and out and in and out, I think.
It is?
Yeah, she's saying that your camera is out of focus.
Hold on. I might have a fix for that. I'm ignoring Tolly. You were my first friend on YouTube that wasn't a major channel. Yeah, I'm going to ignore you. Hold on here a second. Let me get things in order.
So, JH, you were asking me about the 1890 O. The 1890 O has about 10.5 or 10.7 million. There's it's a fairly high number on the 1890 O. But if you can find, um, I'm trying to remember if it's what is the 1880? Is it the 18? There's one of those in there. I can't remember which one it is. I want to say it's the 1892. The 1892 of something like 2.5 million. But the 1892S is the one you want for 1892. The 1892S has less than a minute than the Carson City in that one. So
Let
that's
me
the one to get.
let me interrupt. Everybody put this in the chat. Too much coffee. You need Starbucks. Anyway, everybody put it in the chat. Tully never ignores Princess Tully. Tully is a keeper. Throw it in the
Oh, I
chat.
put too much coffee in. I can't
Put it in the
copy it.
chat.
Every time I go to copy it, it puts me in jeopardy of. There we go. Every time I try to copy something, it puts me in jeopardy of timing somebody out.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me too. All right.
What other
welcome
goodies
to
do we
the
got,
room.
Tiger?
Let me see if this alcohol pad will fix this problem with the camera.
The alcohol tablet.
Alcohol pad.
Oh, alcohol pad. Yeah, that's much better. That looks beautiful.
Okay. Alcohol fixes a lot of things. In fact, wifey told me to bring alcohol home because she wanted to celebrate my birthday late.
You want to know what's funny is I was looking at that and I was like, I need to get my glasses. Like, I need to get my other glasses because it's blurry. I didn't realize it was your camera.
You're welcome, Princess Tully. Now, don't say that again about me ignoring you. You know.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody else for letting us know.
Yeah. So anyway, this one here is a 1900 Philadelphia.
1900 is pretty common in the Philadelphia. You're looking at about 9 million.
Another 1900, and I think this is the New Orleans.
So the 1900 New Orleans is actually higher than Philadelphia. It's one of the ones that is kind of oddball. There's almost 13 million of the 1900 O. You'll find the 1900 O more than you will the flat 1900. Now, the one you want to get in 1900 is the estimate mark, which is like 3.5 or 4 million.
This one's a 1921 Philadelphia common.
Yeah, 44 million, 45 million, something like that. Which one, Michael? Which year? Give me the year that you're looking for. So, Amy, you said you have a nice, which one? 1885 O. 1885 O. If you're looking at the mintages, it's about 9 million, 9.1, 9.2, somewhere in that range. 1900 O. So he wants to know the price on a 1900 O. Give me just a second. Yeah, and again, when you're talking about some of these, if you're looking at even really common years, if you're looking at high grades, AU, MS61, MS62, you're looking at $125 coins. The so I'm going to give you the AU on this one. MS60, you're looking at a $70 coin, somewhere around a $70 coin for that. Is it encapsulated or is it raw? If it's encapsulated, you might be able to get a little bit more depending upon where it is. But the price guide for PCGS says it's about $75. When did the New Orleans Mint burn down? I don't know. They quit doing New Orleans in like 1903, 1902, 1903. Declined to appropriate funds, halting the mint. So it stopped in 1909. I don't know when the fire happened. I'm not seeing anything on here.
New Orleans doesn't sound like it's a great place to live. Fire happened, Hurricane Katrina. Why does everybody want to go there?
Yeah, so the New Orleans Mint has a huge history because of Civil War and the things that happened and stuff that was going on. But I don't have the dates of when. I I haven't done a lot of studying of the mints. The only mint I'm familiar, the only kind of mint history I'm familiar with is Dahlonega, which was the Georgia mint, which is the one that did the original D coins when you're talking about pre-33 gold. But that's the only one I really know a lot of history about. I do have a little bit of history regarding the Philadelphia mint. I like the New Orleans mint. I just don't study the history of it, and I need to actually learn more about it. Yeah, it's the best place to get food, New Orleans. That's for certain.
I've
Jambalaya, maybe.
Never been there. I've had some Cajun stuff at different restaurants. I bet you it's much better in New Orleans.
Pre-33 gold. So if you're a numismatist, pre-33 gold is like the marker for gold. For me, I like the designs. My favorite design in gold is the Princess Head, 1873, 1874, that time frame. I like the Indian, but I love the Indian princess. They're absolutely gorgeous. The $1, $2.5, $5, $10 coins. They're just, I really like the design, and they're very common. They have the incuse dating, which is a lot of people like that. It's just a good stacking amongst numismatists, and even there's a lot of stackers. Salivate Metal loves pre-33 gold. So there's a lot of good solid stackers who like to collect that as well.
I've got a really interesting pre-33. I mean, it's really pre-33. If RH is still in the chat, he's like the fastest computer dude in the world. He's like it's like the Bruce Wayne of YouTube. I did a short on it, although I don't remember exactly what the name of it was, but I got a really good price on it. It's somewhere deep in my stack. It'll take me a while to find it, so that will just waste time here in the chat. I thought maybe
nickel stacking. I'm with you. I love pre-33 gold, man. It's one of those. I say, man. Sorry, that's typing. Dude, my kids call my wife dude. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I like it. I like the old designs. I prefer it. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody wants to give me Geiger something or other, hey, I'm all for it, right? I'll take that all the time. But I like the old designs. Here's what I got from Steve looking for silver.
Oh, nice.
64, 1923. Good looking coin. So
this one's a 1902.
Okay, we just went through the 1902. Yep.
Okay.
Looking at about an 8 million mintage.
1921 Philadelphia.
Yep. Again, 45 million, somewhere in that area. And I'm giving you basic. I'm not giving you the exact, like 44,487,322. It's just 45 million.
1890.
Okay.
It looks like San Francisco.
So San Francisco is the lowest of the mintages for that one.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Say again?
It is San Francisco.
Okay, so you're looking at about 8 million. So for 1890, it's the lowest mintage. Is it worth purchasing Indian Head pre-33? Okay, so here's the kicker on that. It's up to you. Numismatic value and stacking value, you're going to hold a better premium for the numismatic gold than you will for a Britannia. But you're not paying a huge difference, but the numismatic one's going to hold its value better just because of its collectability, right? Especially if you get good ones in good quality. But it all depends. It's what you want to stack, right? When it comes to, this is why I call people stack electors. You can collect and still stack. So you can buy something for the numismatic value and the stacking value. Just make sure you document it so that people know it has a little bit higher percentage. A good example is I did a trade with Coin Crew, found an Overton. So an Overton, it is a seated half Liberty, half dollar, or seated half dollar. And it was from like 1840, I believe. Really cool coin. It had doubling all the way down the face. And it was, I think, Overton 109 or something like that. Really, really cool coin. He didn't know when he first started to sell it, didn't know what he had. And I ended up purchasing it for something like 285 bucks. Well, he called me and he's like, I don't have one and I want one. I'll buy it back from you, and traded up like big time. And I got an 1874 Princess $2.50, $3 coin. It's a $700 coin. If you were to buy that quarter ounce in whatever, you're paying 500 bucks. So you have more of a premium for it because there's a huge numismatic value for it. But you're going to be paying more, but it's going to hold its value a little bit better than the other. Um, because the numismatic value won't drop as much when your gold price drops. So that's why when people talk about stacking 333 gold, they're stacking the gold, but they're also making sure that they maintain that numismatic value, which is going to help you hold the value longer. Now, when you're buying it, is it the best thing to do? Really depends on what your goals are. If you're buying it for the long haul, then buy your, just like you would with generic silver, find the lower premiums. You can get some of the Perth Mint stuff for Cougarans or something like that cheaper than you can maybe the Britannias or the AGEs. So be smart about it, right? You want to make sure that you stack the right thing. But in my opinion, and just in my opinion, you can't go wrong with 333 gold. That's just my opinion.
Well, RH said that he looked at the video and that I bought an 1834 half eagle.
Nice.
And she said she'd only seen two of them in her life. I forget what I paid for it. RH probably saw the price on the short, but she showed me what it was going for on eBay. I got a really good deal.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with the designations, you have a quarter eagle, which is a $2.5 coin. You have a half eagle, which is a $5 gold coin. You have an eagle, which is a $10, and you have a double eagle, which is a $20 coin. So when you're talking about a half eagle, he's talking about a $5 gold coin.
It looks like RH said that he got the same thing too. If I read his note correctly.
Sometimes you can get really good deals on it. People just don't understand it. They're not selling it, so people will drop the price
Well,
and do so. You can get good deals on
I actually
333.
I actually think my pawn shop not only gives me good deals, but I think she gives a lot of people decent deals. I think I might get a little bit better. Um,
No
but
problem, Al.
but basically, uh, uh, basically, I have sold back to my pawn shop dealer because of the need that I had to face, and as I expected, selling it back was not a, there was a heck of a spread, but I needed the money. I needed it quickly, and that's the advantage of having someone local. Some places might do
So
a little bit better. But
this
if
is
I
where,
had
and
time,
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick,
go
Tiger.
ahead,
Okay,
go ahead,
and I'm
go
only
ahead.
going to do this because you just explained a very valuable lesson, and I want you guys to listen to what he just said. He bought it from a coin shop at a good deal, but he lost a ton taking it back to the same one to sell it. If you're talking about numismatic value, take it to a coin shop. right? A trusted coin shop. Now, in this case, I'm just going to use, and I'm not saying go to Coin Crew. I'm just saying I want to use them as an example because I deal with them a lot. I'm a moderator on their stream. I support their channel. They've supported me coming up through the numismatic channels. So they've been a big supporter to me. So I'm just saying them because I work with them a lot and I know I can trust them. I'm going to call him, or I'm going to call his brother from Mid America Coins and say, I have this 33 Godden's Eagle, or 1907 Godden's Eagle. That's a really good one. And I need to sell this. They will give you a price that's probably well above what you'll get at a pawn shop. So
Yeah.
make sure when you're buy low, sell high. So you may not get the same value, but I guarantee the spread at a coin shop when you're buying back pre-33 gold is going to be lower than taking it back to a pawn shop. So shop around. Don't ever take it back to the same place. Shop around. Make a couple phone calls, right? And you'll hear things. You'll have silver dragons, silver seeker, Yankee, right? Do you think they just deal with one person? That's the only person they ever go to? No. You always shop around because you may find people who are selling higher than normal because maybe they have a high volume. They're able to turn it around so they can sell at a lower price, but they can buy back
Thank
at a
you,
little bit
Julie.
higher price. So look and check around, right? Always do that. I watch Silver Seeker all the time and watch, he's always calling coin shops and finding out what the prices of silver are, what he could buy them for, what he can sell them for. Do the same thing. Shop around, find the best price for your return, then take it there. You'll definitely save yourself a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah, and in my case, I didn't have a whole lot of time. I had to get it now.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that happens. But again, getting it now. Okay, so here's the thing. When people are in a bind, we talked about this earlier. People get, and I'm not saying this to be ignorant, okay, but your IQ drops by 50 points because panic sets in. Okay.
mhm.
It's just like FOMO. Stay away from FOMO. Don't buy something just because somebody thinks it's a good idea, right? Or you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, as people would say.
Yeah.
When you're trying to sell, you're trying to maximize what you get back. Take a few moments. It only takes 30 to 40 minutes to make a couple phone calls.
But
Okay.
when I'm trying to
Slow. I don't care
okay.
how much you need to get rid of that right now. 30 minutes is not going to be life or death.
True.
But it may be the difference between $500, $800, $1,000, $1,500. Okay. And that adds up. So slow down. If you have to, you get a phone call, you're like, oh my God, I got to pay this now. It's like, I'll come up with the money. Take a minute, walk outside, drink a cup of coffee, calm down, collect your thoughts, write down what you have to do.
Well, the point I'm making on that particular one was I got a call from my accountant, who said today's the deadline, and if you get this paid now because it's an additional charge that the state is charging for taxes, you're going to get a $5,000 credit on your federal taxes. So I was called on the day of the deadline, so I didn't have time to call Coin Crew or whatever. If I have time, I'm going to sit right here with Keith on the other end and show him everything, and then go from there. But if I didn't have time, then I didn't have time.
But you had 30 minutes to call a couple coin shops in your area. And that's the point that I'm making.
Okay.
So this happens all the time. I am guilty of it with a lot of things. Oh my God, I got to do this like right now. I don't stop. Leave me alone. I got to take care of this. And you get it done and I want it out of the way. But when you're talking about stacking, when you're talking about silver or gold, when you're talking about that stuff, take a few minutes, right? And this is, so if you guys want to write something down, this is something that I have learned by watching some of the best stackers in the industry. listening to people like Salivate Metal, listening to people like Seeker, listening to things like Silver Dragon, Yankee, Empire, right? When you listen to these people over and over, you're going to hear a common theme. They know multiple numbers for multiple places. They have them readily available. Make a list of those coin shops and those pawn shops in your area. Write down what they are, what they buy, where you get the best deals from, and where you've sold to. And then when you get into a situation where you need to buy or you need to sell, stop for a minute, grab your list, look at those people who've bought high from you before and call them first. And say, this is the situation I'm in. This is what I need to do. Here's what I've got. This is what I'm willing to do. What could you buy this at? Outstanding. Okay, cool. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to pack some stuff up. I'm going to make a couple other phone calls and then I'll be back with you. Go to the next one. Okay. Call them. This is my situation. This is what I'm doing. This is what I have. What's the best deal that you can give me? Outstanding. I appreciate your time. I'm going to make one other phone call. I'm going to call back. Because you might get somebody that says, if they give you a better price, call me back and I'll match it or make it better. Take a minute to challenge them, because if they're really interested in buying your stuff, you might get that extra 50 cents over spot. You may get that extra $1 over spot. But let them know, I'm going to make one more phone call and I'm going to come back to you. And I've had people do it to me. Give me just a minute. Hold on. Hey, blah, 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 blah. They come back. Hey, find out if somebody gives you a better price than me, let me know what it is and give me the opportunity to match it or make it better. It only takes a few minutes. You call them back and you tell them, hey, this is the name of the shop. This is who I talked to. And this is what they told me. And if they're serious about it, it's like, if you come in now, I'll give you an extra $1 over spot for your stuff. Outstanding. I'm on my way. And that gives you an opportunity. And folks, this doesn't have to just happen with stacking. If you're in financial situations where you're having a tough time, pick up the telephone and call your cell phone company. Hey, look, I've got to reduce my bill. I have a good plan, but there's another plan that's out here that I can reduce my plan by 50, 60, 70 bucks. I really want to stay with you guys. What can you do to help me out? I'm not going to change my plan, but can you give me a temporary promotion and keep me on the same one? Or am I going to have a huge redundant rate later on? How can you help me out? Call your cable company if you have it. Call your internet service provider if you have one. Whatever it is, there's a lot of those things that you can do to be smart with your money. Smart stacking, smart investing, smart strategy, smart bill paying, right? There's a lot of good things that you can do. And don't do it all the time, because then they're going to get familiar with you and they're just going to be like, whatever, and hang up. But when you're in a situation, document all that stuff, have those numbers all written down and refer back to it. And then once you have that information, once you're set, you're good to go, you know where you're going to go, you take your money. Now go back and look at the first one, find out how much difference it was, and think about where you would have settled if you did that. I'll guarantee you're going to have a lot less of a spread or margin of loss if you take just a few moments, stop, relax, and think of what you're doing, and then do that. But you can only do that if you prepare. If you have good information, you lay it out, you strategize, you have your stuff together. Just keep it. I mean, if you have a safe, keep it on the inside wall of your safe, right? Most common, most listed numbers that we need to. Just to be good for your spouse should something negative happen as well, right? Leave those numbers there and then open it up. Boom. Whenever you have to pull something out of your stack to sell, you have those numbers there. Make a few phone calls, find out the best deal, see if somebody will price match, or call your favorite shop. I'm always going to call you back and tell you what the price is. You can match it if you want to, and I'll bring it to you to show loyalty. A lot of shops love that. And so if you do that kind of stuff, you'll build rapport, you'll build friendships, and you'll get better deals. They'll offer stuff to you. So again, be smart about it. Don't freak up out. Okay, I bleeped myself. Be smart about how you do that, and take a minute, calm the hell down, think about what's going on. Don't miss. So, Tiger, all due respect and love for you, brother. Come on, exactly what you reacted upon. I've got to get this done now, and I'm going to miss out on this $5,000.
Well,
You
that
had
was partially true, but the other part was with my job being what it was, I only had a limited amount of
I
time.
get it. I'm not saying that there weren't circumstances that caused you to do that. I'm just saying most times you have a few minutes to do these things. If you strategize and set yourself up for success, you won't lose nearly as much money when emergency comes and you have to sell some of your stock. And if you have good rapport, with those shops, and you're like, hey, I'm looking at buying some stuff. I'm kind of limited on my funds. Can you give me what's the best deals you have on gold right now? You're likely to get a little bit of a, hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah,
Um,
and I get that usually. I'm actually more than usually, way more than usually
yep,
when I buy.
relationships.
When I buy at the pawn shop, I get better deals. I think that's because she buys them at a lower
Yep.
rate, so she sells them at a lower rate than a lot of other places. And I've even heard of a couple people who buy at her pawn shop and then turn around and sell them to Apnex. So,
Now, if you can do that in high quality, high quantity, like if you have time to go around and shop around, find good deals, you can do quick turnarounds. But I'll warn you against that, because if people see you all the time and they find out, because remember, these are interconnected, they'll stop
mm-hmm,
selling to you and they'll start selling directly themselves. So it's okay to do that, but be careful how much you do it internally,
mm-hmm.
because you could really jeopardize, especially if relationships are a very important thing, especially for a business owner.
Hey Nick,
If
welcome to the jungle. Sorry, I just want to say
No,
hi.
it's okay. Hey, Nick, how are you doing? Good to see you. You're blue, so I have a hard time seeing blue on this screen. Um, but yeah, again, it's just one of those things where a little bit of preparation goes a long way, right? And I always joke about there being 8 levels or 7 levels of preparation, right? Um, you don't want to talk about the eighth level of preparation. So if you remember this, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Stop at G because preparation H is used for something totally else.
Oh God! No,
I have to.
is that over the counter? No, no, hold on. No, sorry, I'm messing up. The joke would have been better about yourself. Forget it.
Well, yeah, and you know how I am. I've got to crack jokes and stuff. But again, just all I was saying is a little bit of preparation goes a long way. And so if you do stuff like set up your strategy and get those phone numbers, put it inside the wall of your safe. And then when something goes to happen and you have to sell your stack, you have that there, you have it available, you have it ready to go. You're going to have less of a tendency of reacting, right? Because my grandfather taught me something years and years ago, and I didn't understand it until I got older. I need you to act, not react. And I'm like, the hell does that mean? And as I get older, I understood what the premise of that was. When you put stuff together and you have a plan, you can act on that plan. But when crap happens, you react. When you react, you get angry, you get mad, you lose, you make stupid decisions. So take a few moments of preparation, get some of those numbers together, put that stuff together, smack it on the inside of your safe or your storage locker, wherever the heck it is, and act when those things come out. Stop reacting. Reacting caused stupid decisions to be made. If you act, it means you have a plan and you're executing that plan. And that's what you want to do as a smart stacker.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So getting back to the original plan.
I know we went like total squirrel, but I
Yeah,
think this is a lot of good information.
it
And
is. It
um,
is.
this is where I love this community, guys. This guys and gals. This is one of those where being able to talk and share information and share good information, share advice. This is what makes this hobby. This is what makes this community so good, and I love it.
And the other part about it is, you learn from talking about what your experiences are, in this case, I still think I did a decent, okay job. Now listening to you, I'm realizing I could have done better. It would have been better for me to get into the phone book or Google and see what else is in the area, because the rumors among all my friends here is the best place to do business is at the pawn shop, because the local coin shops in this area try to take advantage. So I went with what I was told by everybody else here.
And that can be true. But let me give you another lesson, okay? Folks, write this down. If you don't remember anything from this stream, write this down. Okay? Don't get upset when you make a mistake.
True.
Learn
So
from it.
very true.
Learn from it.
And then
Right.
it doesn't matter if it's just the stacking. If you're trying to lose weight and you screw up, you're trying to do something else and you screw up. We're all going to screw up. We're all humans. We're not perfect.
Nobody learns from doing things correctly. You learn from making mistakes. Failure is not an option. I don't care how many times you fall down. Make an effort to get up. You may start to get up and it may knock you back down again. Make that effort to get up. But don't get angry when you make a mistake. Stop, take reflection, and go, how can I learn from this? What did I get from this? If you do this in your job, you'll freaking excel. If you're a salesperson and you'd learn this job, you learn this one skill to make a mistake and learn, oh my God, you're going to crush it. But don't beat yourself up for making a mistake. Take it as an opportunity. Exactly, RH. Exactly. Perfect. First attempt in learning. That's absolutely perfect. I love
I
that.
love that.
Absolutely perfect. It's the first attempt in learning. But we all make mistakes. We all do stupid things and look back and go, oh, that was really boneheaded. Right? What did I call myself earlier? Cheese puff, right? Oh my God, I'm such a cheese puff. But it's okay, right? What happens when you eat cheese and you're lactose intolerant? You have a few bouts of gas and you're done. Well, what happens? People instruct you, hey, don't eat cheese anymore. It's bad for all of us. So take a lesson, right? And what did you get from this today? Well, you hung out with your friends, you got to learn some stuff, but next time you do it, you're going to be better prepared. And so
and you learn not to take your cheese without your wine. Yeah.
I'm a sailor. You're a jarhead. All right. So let's go ahead and look at these last few coins. Let's go ahead and wrap up the coin portion of this.
No problem.
This has been fun, though. I've really enjoyed this discussion.
Here. 1890 looks like San Francisco.
I think we just looked at that, or you had two of them.
Maybe I got two of them because I think I put
cheese is good. Cheese text. The cheese text.
Yeah, it's San Francisco, and it looked like a different S. Maybe I've got a little Alzheimer's too.
Well, okay. So here's the thing: when you're talking about that, this is something that's like deep into the weeds when you're talking about numismatics. There are different mint mark styles, and sometimes the mint mark styles will change. So there are some people that collect the various mint mark styles. Some of the research that I'm doing actually looks at the mint mark styles because it helps you determine the type of die that was used, or any potential errors that came from that particular one. So there's a lot of cool things from the numismatic realm looking at the different types of S's and mint marks and stages and so on and so forth.
Let's see. This next one is an 1885 New Orleans.
I like that one too, Hugo.
You like that, huh? I think that might even have a cartwheel.
What's that one?
1885 New Orleans.
Oh, see, that's a good looking one. 1885, not 95, because I was about to freak out. 1885 New Orleans is 9.1 million, but that is a sharp looking coin. Can you look? How are the breast feathers, the breasticles?
Oh yeah, they're there.
So set that
they're not
aside.
perfect, but they're way better than the last one we talked
Set
about.
that aside. So
Okay.
when you're looking at some of those, again, quality matters, right? That's going to be the big one that we're looking at. Quality does matter. So we'll look at a couple of these, but it is an omit mark, and so we'll talk about that.
Okay. Now this one is an 1879, and it's a Philadelphia, and this one is like my sister, flat chested.
Okay. Yeah. That's like 14 million, 15 million. So you can set that one in your stack. Oh, dude, that was funny. I wasn't expecting that. Totally caught me off guard.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. When she was a teenager, my brother and her were like this. They're like a year apart from each other. And I was like 6 years older, and they'd always teamed up on me and got me in trouble for everything. They'd break something, blame it on me, uh, and just and I'd get beat. But I remember one day, I used to retaliate and do all sorts of things and tell my mom, "You can't beat me. You already beat me for something I didn't do. Now I've earned the beating you already gave me." Anyway, my brother got into her bedroom and pulled out her flat-chested training bra and waved it like a flag and ran all around the house. I remember it so well to this day. She was screaming. It was the funniest thing in the world. She didn't want to know anybody to know. Oh my God! And just the comment I made about this brought back so many funny memories. So thank you, Coin.
Well, yeah, coins can bring back a lot of memories. And that's one of the things about numismatics that I love. I love the history behind the coins. I love the coins themselves, but I'm all about the history and learning about what happened and thinking about the people who possibly held that coin. That's amazing to
Oh,
me.
that is so true.
Yeah.
From my math, I think my grandfather was born in 1891, and how many of the stages about our financial situation he's lived through,
Oh,
prior to the Federal Reserve, prior to FDR, prior to Nixon, prior to JFK, and all the changes. No wonder my grandfather taught me over and over again. Figures don't lie, but liars can figure. He was
yeah.
so wise, and it's still going on to this day.
Yeah, the historical part of this is amazing. Now, you were talking about that. I'll share a quick story while we're looking at this one. What is this coin?
This is in 1921 Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's a good looking one though. It's nice and so pull that other Philadelphia back up. So these are one of the things that I look at. Look at okay, so there's some scratching on the back. You can see that, but
Yeah,
look at how blast white this coin is. I mean, it is blast white.
and it
And
doesn't look like it's been cleaned.
no, it's not, but it's blast white. It's got a good, nice, um, uh, good reflective cartwheel. You can see that in there. You can't see it there because it's blocked out, but you can kind of see that good reflective cartwheel. Um, Grading, eye appeal has a huge um, component of grading, and so when you see those really beautiful, not cleaned, blast white coins, oh man, they're good to look at. Doesn't matter if they're common years. I love seeing a really gorgeous looking coin.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we're
Well,
talking about some of the old stuff. My great grandmother talked to me about all the stages they went through the depression and sweeping the dirt and in their house. Now they didn't have floors; they had dirt. Right, that was what
mhm.
they had in their house. Living in the Dust Bowl, the first car, the first TV, radio,
Oh
all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. And I used to just sit and listen and listen and listen and listen and listen because it amazes me. And then think about how many of these coins um, they spent and what the buying power back then was. It's remarkable.
Oh, that's so true.
All
Okay,
right, so have we gone through all of those?
we have two more,
Okay.
and this one's another 1921 Philadelphia, and the last one is a 1901 New Orleans.
And the 1901 New Orleans is a, oh, what is that? It's 14, 13 million, I think.
Okay.
I think it's 13 million, like 13.5 or something like that. I know it's high. It's one of the highest ones. I always remember that one because the estimate mark is like 2.2 million. That 13.3. Yeah, I knew it was close. It's somewhere in that area. But the estimate mark is like 2.2 or 2.3 million. And the value between the two of those is like, 63. It's like $400 difference.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
So let's go ahead and pull out. I think we set 3 coins aside or 2 coins aside.
3.
Okay, so let's go ahead and pull those 3 coins out. And let's go ahead and talk about the 3 coins that we have. So if we were looking now, when we talked about doing this, we talked about base 1921 Morgan in just like XF condition, right? We're talking about a straight $45 to $50 coin. And we're talking about general trade value. So when we look at these, we're looking at $150 for this coin. Okay, so what's the? Let me make sure I'm looking at the right date.
This is the 1904 New Orleans.
Okay, so this is a really low mintage. So the 1904. Let me pull that up real quick. And I believe that's about $150 coin. Oh no, what the heck? 1904. Oh. Oh, it's yeah. I pulled up a half cent and I was like, "What? What the heck is wrong with this one?" Closer to camera. So that one's got some tilt it down just a little bit. So that's got some scarring and stuff on the cheek. So that's going to probably be about, am I on the right coin? 1904. Oh, so that one's going to be about, that's about a $55 coin. So that would be a 1-for-1 trade.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go ahead and pull up the next one.
So that goes back into the trade pile. This one is the 1898, 1898.
And that's the old mark as well, right?
Yes.
Man, PCGS there's something screwy going on with PCGS. It's really slow today. And we're looking at that one in, what are we looking at that one in? 60. So that's a $90 coin.
Okay.
So that would be a 2-for on that one. So I would do 2-for-1 on that one.
Okay, I'll put that back in the trade.
Yeah, the other one would be a 1-for-1 definitely. This one would be, I would do 2-for-1 on that one. The other one, because it was probably lower grade. It would have been a straight trade for the 21. Unless, I mean, obviously if it was in better condition, yeah, but for the grade that was in. All right, and the last one?
The last one is an 1885. And then the numbers on that is really cool. I mean, really clear. And the O for New Orleans is really clear. And the breast feathers are really there on the chest.
Okay, so now the 1885 O, there's a lot of things to look for. So there's a lot of VAMs. for people who don't know what a VAM is, hey, Steve
That's me.
Lapointe, what's going on, bud? A VAM is a classification of varieties that happen on Morgan dollars. People
Okay.
are like, well, you got to check and see if it's a VAM. Every Morgan dollar is a VAM. So basically, what a VAM is looking at is it's looking at the dies that were utilized, and it's telling you the die pairing that was done. So if it was die 1 and 14, then that would tell you that it was VAM 118. If you were looking at die or 3 and 4, then it could be VAM 105. So you're looking at the specific die pairing when you're talking about VAMs. Same thing goes with when you're looking at Overtons. Every one of the seeded bust dollars or whatever those are, they're all Overtons, the bust dollars,
Mm-hmm.
because you're talking about the pairing of the dies themselves. So that's what they're referring to when they talk about an Overton or a VAM. So on this one, let's just give you just a straight, we'll give you, it's not the GSA Horde, because the GSA Horde carries a premium. So we'll just say that this is VAM 1. I'll give you kind of the differences between the various VAMs. So in this one, if you're looking at MS65, so this one is really good. If you could validate that it was the VAM 1, you're looking at a fairly pricey coin. Now my price guide's not coming up for PCGS anymore. Why? I hate it when it does this. There we go. No, it went back to the 1809. Let me do this over again. And this was an 1885.
This is a 1885.
Let me pull this back up. There's something wrong with my PCGS app. Yeah, that's about what I was showing, RH. Now, that's not going to be an MS65. That's probably going to be closer to 63. It might make 64. So I'm gonna base it off of a 63. Well, yeah, let's say 64. If it comes in at MS64, it's a $135 coin. Now if it was to come back, because that looks really clean. So let's say it did come back at 65. The eye appeal is there. It doesn't have very many mint marks. Then it could be a $250 coin. If it came back at 66, then you're looking at a $450 coin.
Wow.
So you really want to get into, now he was saying slide right. So sliding right up into 68 is a $30,000 coin. Now that's not a 68. But that coin might fetch 65. So in this case, I would not put it back in your stack. I would put it in a flip and set it aside, and let's actually get it looked at. Take really good photos of it. We'll kind of give you what a grade is.
Okay, so this is not a trade so much as a potential for a sending off for PCGS, if I understand you correctly. Not really.
Maybe.
I mean, if you want to trade, that's fine.
Grading. Okay. Hey, yeah, Steve. So real quick, I want to break really quick. Steve Lapointe just had surgery. The surgery went well, but he's experiencing a lot of pain. So, Steve, prayers are going out for you, bud. If you need anything, reach out, let us know. We're glad the surgery went really well. So please keep us informed. We appreciate you. And
I appreciate
thanks
that.
for coming in and visiting. But we're thinking about you, bud.
Steve, if you need anything such as, maybe someone to give you some advice on, let's say your doctor says something that confuses you, reach out to me. If I'm not working, I'll try to be there for you.
That's awesome, Tiger. That's awesome. Steve's a great guy. So appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Hopefully they've given you some good stuff to reduce the pain, but keep us up to date. I'll check with you if you're up in the morning. We'll check in with you again and see how you're doing, but appreciate you coming in. So sorry, I needed to take a minute and say hi and make sure he was doing all right.
No problem.
What is your opinion on dipping coins? Don't. Let me finish this and I'll get to that because it's a really good question. So grading. This isn't a rarity. Even though it's a $450 coin, if you want to try and get it to come back at 65, you can. Here's the questions you have to ask for yourself. Number one, if it comes back at a 63, will I be okay spending $50 to have it graded? Knowing that I probably could have sold this raw as a 63 for the same price. In that regard, no. If you were really looking at having something graded, now like I had my 1883 graded, I was really pushing for an MS65 because the value between 64 and 65 is tremendous. Maybe if you thought this was an MS67, what you're looking at, between a $1,400 and a $1,700 coin, hell yes. Send that in. If you think you could get a 67 from that, absolutely. But the general rule of point is don't send your coins in for grading. Now, if they're high end or they're a rarity, or you're trying to do something like getting something attributed, or you have one that you need verified as authentic, a Greek or Roman coin, old world coinage, obsolete coinage, Civil War token, things of that nature, then yeah, send them into Annex and send them in for verification, validation. If you have something like a plate coin, so for instance, let me grab something. I got my penny book here.
While he's looking at that, Nick, about the dipping of coins, watch Frosty. So, and yeah, I totally agree. Don't dip the coin. Put them in your mouth and lick them.
So here is a coin. This is a cent. It's a 1942 Philadelphia. The variety on this is number 1 double die, number 20. And as you can see, it's got the Copper Coins logo and it's got Eric Bayer signed it. This is what they call a plate coin. Now, if you go to Copper Coins and you pull up the 1949 or 1942 Philadelphia 1DO020, you're going to see this coin on their website. So all the photos that you see are going to be this exact coin. And those makes it more collectible. So if I wanted to get this validated, if I wanted to get this slabbed, I could send this to Annex and I could have them put this in as the discovery, the plate coin, right? And it carries a premium. But I wouldn't be able to send it to PCGS because they wouldn't recognize it. So when you're sending stuff in, no, because PCGS has a very limited number of things that they recognize, and you have to know what they recognize because you may send them in and not get the attribution. I see this all the time with channels who send stuff off, and it happens, and I'm not tagging or picking on stackers, but you see this all the time with stackers. Man, I sent this coin in, and it came back, and they didn't classify the variety that I told them that it was going to be. And it's like, well, is it in the cherry picker's guide? Is it in here? Because if it's not listed here, PCGS won't document it. It's got to be in here. So if it's not in this particular book, they're not going to label it. Doesn't matter if it's true or not.
The cherry picker's guide is with PCGS.
Yeah, and all of the exactly, Nick, that's exactly right. All of the items are listed on their website. They tell you exactly what they validate. They tell you exactly what they'll attribute. And if it's outside of that, it won't happen. And I see this all the time with people saying, well, this is a VAM. Well, if that VAM is not the top 100 and it's not listed in that book, they're not going to do it. So you really have to understand what each grading service will do, what they'll attribute, what they won't attribute before you send it in. But I'm not, and I just showed you guys, I like slab coins, right? I'm not saying don't do slab coins or don't buy slab coins. Absolutely, go for it. Do it. Not a problem. I buy them all the time. I have sent coins in for grading, but there are varieties or there's something a little bit unique and something a little bit different. And so I'm going to do that because I want one, either I want it for my personal collection or stack, or I want to validate it's authentic, or like that other one, hey, it's a plate coin. People collect those, right? I have like 15 of them or something like that. I think it's really freaking cool. As somebody goes to the website, they're looking at my coin. I think that's sweet. So I would want them attributed just because it's the vanity thing, right? Um, Now, are they super rare? No. There's a lot of people with plate coins. Every coin you see on every website, somewhere somebody has that coin. Um, but they're just cool. Um, Steve LaPointe, exactly. Never clean a coin. Now, here's the thing with dipping. Okay, and I'm gonna hold up my little Tata again. Okay, gorgeous, pretty. Let's say add a little bit of a milk spot, and I wanted this milk spot off, so I decided I was going to go ahead and dip it. But let's say there's some sort of impurity in the silver that you can't see, right? Just because of the way the stamping, the pressing of the coin, and again, coin, right? Not a round. It's round, but it's a coin. You may not be able to see an impurity. So when you dip it, let's say that there's an impurity that runs across here, it could show up as a solid black line across your coin, and that is forever there. So, number one, you don't know what kind of oils may be on the coin that you're not identifying, you're not seeing. There are some other issues that could potentially happen. So be very, very cautious when you're doing that kind of stuff. I recommend to never do it. It used to be common practice. If you're ever going to send it in for grading, then they have sniffers to tell if you've dipped it, and it's going to come back as a cleaned coin. And then you're going to get details, and details never are the same value, especially in common date stuff like this. You're never going to get great value out of it because it's going to show up as cleaned. You might as well crack it out and then just sell it flat because you're not going to get the value that you thought you're going to get out of it. So, do you do this? No. I recommend that you do not dip your coins at all. Now, I take that back. There are some situations where it's okay to do some conservation. Now, I watched a video, I think it was Silver Dragons. I may be wrong. But they did one with removing PVC, right? When you have some old coins, and I think they had, matter of fact, I think it was on Peace Dollars, if I'm not mistaken. The video was actually on Peace Dollars. And they were talking about having it in a PVC container, and there was some stuff, and they're showing how to remove PVC. Now, there are certain things that you can do, like with utilizing acetone on a copper scent and stuff like that. Don't use it for zinc, but for copper and stuff like that to remove PVC. There are certain things that you can do, but you really need to know what you're doing. If you're uncertain, reach out. A really good source for this, you guys have people in your stacking community, but in the numismatic community, there's a couple of people who are really good at this, but one I'd really recommend is Daniel from Coin Help You. Coin Help You has a huge database. Live Coin Q&A is another good resource, but Coin Help You has a huge database of all sorts of really cool things that you can look at, and videos you can look at, and prices and stuff that you can do and how to do it. OC, I'll get with that one in just a second because the answer is it's not. Conservation is cleaning, period, bottom line, end of story. But we'll get to that in just a second. But he's got a really good library and things that you can look up, and there's a lot of good stuff on how to actually go through and what to utilize. I think Salivate has done a few of those, Uncle Sal. There's some really good stuff out there, but my two that are kind of the diehard go-to if I'm really looking for specific information is going to be Coin Help You and Live Coin Q&A. Live Coin Q&A, just for the knowledge that's on that panel. Paula Bloom is absolutely brilliant and knows that minting process forwards and backwards. Blue Ridge Silverhound is absolutely brilliant. Talk about somebody who knows grading. If you ever have a question on grading, send it to him and Blue Ridge. Bam, he's really good. He actually did a contest. If you haven't seen this, they did a contest where they went against other people, an NGC, I think it was, where they actually did a contest for grading and they crushed it and won. So a lot of good stuff, but the Coin Help You is awesome. Now, OC Stacker, why is it okay for grading companies to clean a coin? It's not. And here's why I say this. They have their records that it was conserved. But if anything happens to that coin, it gets cracked out, you try to reslab it, you try to do whatever, unless it goes back to that exact grading company and there's documentation that it was conserved by them, that coin's going to come back as clean. It's going to come back with the details item. And so you want to be really careful having conservation done, because they have chemical sniffers and stuff that'll actually pick that stuff up. So if you're going to document it, and if you're going to have a conservation done and you're going to resend it off and resubmit it for people to do that, send in the confirmation documentation that you had that coin conserved. It still might come back with details. So again, conservation has its place, but there are plenty of occurrences where people have conserved coins and they've ruined the coin. They've caused issues with it. They've damaged the coin. They've, brought out imperfections of the coin. And so it really isn't, right? You should never, ever clean a coin. That's bottom line. That's just the general rule of thumb. Doesn't matter if you're a cleaning grading company or whatnot. Now, you will see certain things like in shipwreck coins where they've been under the bottom of the sea and they have barnacles and crap growing on them and they've conserved them. They're conserved by professionals. They have people in museums who've done that. They've studied for year after year after year on how to do that. If you have something really super rare like that, then you want to have a professional do that. But in those situations, if you have a shipwreck coin and it's kind of expected that at some point it was conserved, right? So it's expected, but it still holds huge value because you found it off the Santa Maria de Malchiotano or something. So
The other thing I wanted to bring out, Frosty, was when I made my silly little joke about putting the coin in your mouth and licking it. I did that not only to be funny, but more importantly because you went on one of your streams or videos, I forget which, about how dirty coins are.
oh
And
yeah.
even though silver has antimicrobial properties.
Yep.
And I did a video on how silver can stop bleeding by using its silver nitrate, and it has antimicrobial properties on that. But part of the reason I said that silly little joke was to be silly, but part of it was to give you an introduction on that topic about how dirty money is.
Money is filthy. It is crappy. You guys want to see a really gross statistic? Pull up. I'm trying to remember what's the. It's the ABP or whatever the place that prints the bills. They're the. Man, I just went completely blank. The Bureau of Printing and Engraving. That's what it is. Yeah. And Bureau of Engraving and Printing. That's what it is. Thank you. I knew it was one of those, but I couldn't remember that number. They have done studies where they found fecal matter on like 98.9% of all bills that pass back through there. And we're talking about all sorts of crazy diseases. Now, we had the discussion earlier on my stream this morning where Paula Bloom and I were joking about dirty money, and hepatitis C can last a very long time on a dollar bill, like a really long time. All it takes is one hard pustule of blood or something to be stuck on that thing. And, kids are putting it in their mouth and all that stuff. That's absolutely gross. Now, I've always Tully's like, I can't listen to this. I'll be back. Yeah, it is really gross. Which always, the joke that I've always done regarding this is, if there's so much nastiness on bills, why is it illegal to launder money? But again, it really is gross. So one of the best things, and you know this because you're a doctor. I know this because I'm also in the health profession. Universal precaution number one is wash your hands, right? So anytime you're handling silver, anytime you're handling gold, anytime you're handling any type of coins, wash your hands and wash them frequently. And there's some basic premises that you should do when you're doing this, right? Don't wash your hands with scented or oily or lanolin based shampoos or hand washers. Don't use um, your Purell, hand sanitizer before touching coins because there's alcohol and residue and stuff like that. Wash your hands and wash them frequently. Really, the health, the life that you're going to save is yours and anybody in your family, because you don't want to be touching and sorting coins and doing all that kind of stuff, and then, going to make dinner. It's gross. All right, Thule, I'm done talking about nasty coins. You can come back now.
Well, I got a perfect solution for this, Frosty. I really do. I'm not joking. I got an absolutely perfect solution for dirty coins and getting stuff on your hands and everything. I hope that you guys will take my comments to heart and everything. Use your claws. Put them in the claws. Downside to being a real tiger, no opposable thumbs.
I'm going to pull something up real quick. All right. Now I want you guys, so when you're talking about this, now the clause that they're talking about here is a bear. But think about this. Now, when you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear and you pick a raw paw, next time beware. Don't prick the prickly pear by the paw. When you pick the pear, try and use the claw. But you don't need to use the claw if you pick the pear of the big paw. Have I given you a clue?
Oh my God.
You know what that's from?
Not a clue.
The bare necessities of life will come to you.
Oh, I got to start watching that again.
Oh, so you're talking about the claw. I'm sorry. Just had to go there.
Hey, I'm okay with that. Now you make me want to go watch that movie again.
It is a classic. It is a classic.
It is so classic.
Well, Tiger, you know what? I'm going to kind of wrap things up on my end because I have my stream in the morning that I've got to do. So I need to get a little bit of shut eye.
Yeah, and I got to figure out what my next chore that wifey wants me to do. So,
but I'll tell you what, I've had a great time. I really appreciate you having me up and kind of going through these and looking at the potential coins and kind of just the discussion and being able to share knowledge, both understanding stacking and numismatics. I've learned a lot from you all, and just thank you for having me up. The chat's been absolutely wonderful. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you all. Just the generosity that you've showed me here in Tiger Stream and the support that you guys show Tiger. So thank you very, very much.
Everyone, please subscribe to Tiger. No, please subscribe to Frosty.
Please subscribe to Tiger too.
But please subscribe to Frosty. He does teach a lot, and if you've noticed, he is not boring. He's funny. And you learn stuff when someone's not boring. And
I try to be. Coins, there's only so much you can do with coins. And I do understand that after a while, it's like, oh, I got to hear this again. But it's the same thing with stacking. Sometimes you just hear things a different way and it sinks in. So my goal when talking about numismatics is, one, to make it fun, talk about the history, to kind of go through some things, to have people like collaborations with like Tiger and Paula Bloom and Eric Bayer and Coin Crew and some of these, Ida Herring. You guys will always see me in the morning, almost always see me in the morning at Ida Herring's. But to have these conversations and to learn, right? To share information. And I try to make it fun. I try to do some fun little trivia stuff here and there. I like my goofy turkey trivia, but I try to make it fun. And I'm in it for me. And I hope that you guys can get something out of it because I really want to share and provide the information as I learn it to make all of us a little bit smarter and have fun and enjoy the hobby, and who knows, maybe be a little bit of profitable in the long term.
Well, can someone it's one of the mods in the chat because my computer's acting slow. Can someone
RH
put
just put me in there. I appreciate you, RH.
oh, there you go. Now what? I should have known better. That guy's usually ahead of everybody. I swear to God, he's Bruce Wayne, very intelligent and the fastest computer on the planet. So, but no, I really appreciate that. And like I said, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, plus the like, plus the bell notification, plus a comment. That way it sticks, and YouTube won't take it back out. Because Nick taught me a very valuable lesson about YouTube purging. So, and those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you do. And same thing to make it stick. Also, if someone put in the chat Tully's channel, Nick's channel, and if I've forgotten anyone, Frosty, you gave me the exclamation point find me, didn't you?
Exclamation point find me. Yeah, it's in there. All you got to do is put the exclamation point, type in the words find me, and it will put your channel into chat. So you don't have to be a moderator to do that. This is one of the things that I set him up. You can also do the weather command. I believe I've got that set up in there. I think I put that one in there for you, didn't I? Yep. So you can do exclamation point weather, put in your zip code. It'll give you your weather forecast. So trying to set him up to continue to get some stuff done. We're going to continue to put some fun commands in there. We'll work on getting Tiger's chat to kind of automate some stuff. There you go, Gary. Perfect. Then that should do it. Now, what it should do is when it comes up, it should tag you. So you should see your name in orange to let you know that it comes up.
Thanks, RH, because Nick didn't do the exclamation point find me. Yeah.
So there's Check Stacker.
Yeah, check. He's my kitty brother from another mother.
I think they're starting to come up. So there's a couple people that I don't see. OC. I see Check Stacker. I don't see Victoria. Yeah, we'll have to check that. I don't know why it's not coming up. It should be coming up more frequently. Should be coming up for everybody, and it doesn't seem to be doing that.
Throw the exclamation point find me in there. Nickel is an up and coming channel. He sometimes talks about metal, sometimes talks about sports. Same with Nick. She talks about metal. She talks about sports. And I don't follow sports as much, but I do enjoy it when they talk about it. So.
Yeah, I've got to figure out why those aren't coming up. I'm only seeing it come up with the moderators. I need to look and see in that command if we set that up for moderation. I should be set up for everybody. So we'll go edit that command sometime and we'll make sure that that's corrected.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, because that's definitely something that's extremely beneficial in your stream. So we'll make sure some of that stuff gets put up. We'll put a little bit more of automation into his channel so that some stuff, because it should be happening for everybody. Right now, it seems like it's only happening for the moderators. So I'll have to look into that and find out why that is.
Okay. And
I'm also going to have to do a command exclamation point roar and do something like here, kitty, kitty.
Speaking of which,
or Rig Nation or something like that. We'll do some fun stuff.
Yeah, we definitely. And when I'm allowed to do emojis, because Yankee made a dead tiger emoji, I want a dead Yankee emoji.
That's freaking hilarious too.
Yeah,
I laughed my butt up when I saw that.
It is.
Dead kitty, yeah.
Oh, you should have seen it. It got so. When I put in the live walking tiger, which you can find anywhere on the internet, it's like, whose channel is this anyway?
So Nick Coins, the exclamation point find me should be done. There's a setting in there that you can make it moderator, owner, or everybody. And I think I probably have it to moderator. So I'll have to go back through and do that. Everybody should have the capability to enter exclamation point find me. So I'll figure out what went wrong on that, and I'll make sure that that's correct, and I'll have Tiger correct that. But we'll do some other fun stuff.
Yeah.
When you do the weather, do exclamation point weather and enter your zip code. So like I did with exclamation point, see it's no location. So do like exclamation weather and then say something like 78023, which is my zip code, and then it'll come up with your actual weather. But you do have to enter your zip code. It also works for overseas in Canada and stuff like that. So if you put in that that other one, and then again, if we want to, yeah, so that should come up. I'm not sure if you have to put a space in on that. You may not have to, but it should kick that up.
The other thing that I want to bring up is when
try it with hold on, Tiger.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Put a space in there. Exclamation point, weather, space, and then the zip code. There you go. Let's see if that works for you, Chuck Stacker.
And the answer is?
It should work. It's really slow right now. So I'll have to check it and find out what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be something with the bot. Nick, that's hilarious. I live close to Canada, so if you want to know the weather, I can tell you. That's awesome. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tiger. I just was trying to figure out what was going on with that.
Frosty mentioned about the exclamation point roar, which it sounds like would be really cool to do. I did work on a wheel. Yankee did mention in his live stream, and tried to say something about it. Go watch his live stream, you'll see it. But the wheel don't work. So I think Yankee sabotaged it. So I'm going to have Frostbyte help me unsabotage it so it will work. And he's also going to take out the rigged component so it doesn't work exactly like Yankee's wheel. So, but
yeah, we'll get you all set up.
Yeah, because I appreciate that because I'm very, 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 very low tech. Between you, my brother-in-law, and my wife, I'm slowly learning.
Yeah, well, your brother-in-law does an amazing job on the video editing and stuff. He does a remarkable job.
He does. And
all right, folks. I've got to cut out of here. It's late. But again, to everybody in chat, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your kindness. Thank you for all the love that you showed me while I've been here. Great questions, great discussion.
Oh, yeah.
I really do appreciate you guys. I'll have to come back up on Tiger's panel again sometime. But you guys have been awesome. It's always fun to come into a stream where the chat's communicative and asking questions and stuff. So I definitely appreciate you guys and gals for all the support and all the love. So again,
thank you guys for being so appreciative to Frostbyte. He's to be honest with you, if he doesn't rock it and knock it out of the park, I'll be really, really shocked. He's an awesome guy, not just knowledgeable, but he's one of the nicest men up there.
Thanks, Tiger.
He's a very good man, very loving to his family. He ranks up there, in my opinion, with Yankee as far as being a good man. So hit him with a lot of love, hit him with a lot of views. He needs the video viewing support as well as the subscription. So please, hit his channel hard, hit it with a lot of love because he deserves it.
Thanks, OC. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Thank you very much. All right, guys, I'm going to step down. I'm going to let Tiger wrap up his stuff. Y'all take care of yourself. Be well, be blessed, and we will see you soon.
Okay, I'll reach out to you a little bit later, Frosty.
All right, sounds good, bud.
So should I just close it now, or just take you out, or how do I do that?
However you want to do it. You could just put me down in the basement if you want to.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary.
Do you guys want to just close, or for both of us, or do you want me to stay a little bit, or how do you want to do it?
If you want to stay on, go ahead and stay on. I just got to get some shut eye before tomorrow's stream.
I don't blame you. Okay. Thank you for
All right,
everything.
y'all. I'll just bounce out. We'll talk to you later,
Bye-bye.
Tiger.
Bye-bye. Okay. You know, I really appreciate all of you being here and supporting Frosty. And you can see, well, that's one of the many reasons I wanted to do this live stream. What you see, how highly intelligent he is, and a lot of fun. So I really wanted to thank you for all that. I think maybe I'm going to do the same thing and hit the hay, see what my wife wants to do. That's Nick, thank you. I didn't even notice any of that. I wasn't paying any mind. I was just enjoying all of you. I'll look at the numbers a little bit later, but 63 likes, yeah, that's amazing. So I want to thank all of you for everything. And as always, make sure that you stack everything, absolutely everything. And to quote Lynette Zhang, food, water, shelter, silver, barterability, wealth preservation, gold, security, which includes lead, the third most precious metal, and most importantly, community. I live by her mantra. It's my mantra too. So protect your family, protect your wealth, because I honestly believe we are in the early stages or deeper into the early stages of the book of Revelations, and our Lord is coming. So thank you, Ellie. And I really want everyone to have a good time on the channel. Thank you so much for everything, and good night, everyone. Tiger Stacker is out.